Alright guys, here we are to talk about the first episode of the Netflix original series, The Punisher.
I like this a lot.
I thought it was great. It set up some character stuff that I like. I only really had one thing that I didn't like about the episode.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of shows do. Whenever there's a loved one that's dead that we never really see, it's always this like really angelic version of a person where you're like, I don't know if you'd even be a person I'd want to hang out with. Like where they're like perfect in every way.
Yeah.
All right, dear, I let you sleep in. I'm gonna make you coffee and some bacon or whatever the fuck she says.
And it's that same loop of him waking up to her and stuff like that.
But like other than that, and that's a very tiny issue. This was great. We
No, I'm kind of. I watched this late at night, and I was very tired, and I had a few moments where I was like, "Wait, I have to rewind this. Wait, what just happened? That was amazing." And I had so like there's certain. I'm a little like disjointed in my shit or whatever the fuck, but I don't know what I expected or what I thought this was gonna be or whatever. I think I had some fears. There were some like I don't know what they're gonna do with the Punisher. Like he's like this bad guy, hero, anti-hero dude, and are they gonna give him? And then like throughout the episode, I'm like, are they gonna give him a sidekick? Are they gonna like give him like, oh, he's good now, and like now he just does good things or whatever? But I thought they had a good setup.
He's gonna get the sidekick. My prediction is the guy you saw in the very end of the frame that is studying the gates of the walk. I think that's Microchip. I think that's
who? I don't know shit about Punisher.
It's his boy that like hooks him up with guns and stuff.
Huh. So yeah, because he
Like
knows who
tech.
he is. He says like like Welcome Back Frank or Mr. Castle or something. Okay, so that was not so like the way it ended. I thought I was supposed to know who that guy was, but that is a new character.
That's a new character
as far as I know?
for this show.
Cool. Okay.
And I'm only speculating as to who I believe.
I was afraid it was somebody from Daredevil or from some other
Nope.
Netflix show, and then I fucking missed it or whatever the fuck.
Made no cameos yet.
No, but like so it opens where like he's killed everyone.
Yeah.
So it isn't that he's become a good guy all of a sudden. It's that he's sort of in like retirement because he murdered everyone that ever had to get murdered. I loved the sniper thing because it's doing the location of where everything is.
Mexico.
And that
America.
And it pulls back so far, and it was an awesome shot for for a shot like that, which obviously has to have a lot of CG and stuff to be. I thought it looked really, really good.
It did look good. I thought at first I was like, oh, is there a fuck up because the delay in the sound, hit? And I'm like, no, he's a fucking mile away.
No, the delay.
He's setting records on this kill.
The delay in the sound was fucking perfect, and the pullback looked really good. And then like the little button on it just to like push you over the edge there, where like the new location card pops up.
That was
made me. I was like, that was one of those like awesome. And that's where I kind of thought like, okay, we're in good hands here. This is gonna be good.
Sure.
I don't have to worry about this going in some weird like direction. Also for like darkness and all that stuff, when he talks to the guy in the bathroom. And the whole conversation where he's like, come on, man, I have a family, like, come on, and he just deadpans like, I don't, like fuck off. But it's just awesome, like, like very dark, obviously, but like John Bernthal doing really good work and all that shit.
No, he's really good in this character. I thought it was almost humorous. He had played this almost mute character, and just recently he played in that Pilgrimage. He played that mute character who was just like a badass.
Oh, fuck, that's right. That's
and like
the
he
same
had
hair.
the longer hair too, and I'm like, that's interesting.
I have to confess to you, I did not recognize him at first.
Really?
I didn't realize that the hammer guy was him until like there's like one really close shot of his face where like I should have, but I don't know. I'm like a dog or something. If you have like a big beard, I'm not sure it's you or whatever.
Sure.
But then when it cut to him either up eating his lunch or he took his helmet off or something, like once I could see more of his face, I was like, oh, good. That's so I'm like, oh, who's this guy with the hammer? At first, I didn't.
If you were to actually hammer like he does for over 8 hours a day, it's. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
Like he had like a blister. Your hands would be destroyed.
His hands
your arms would be so heavy, like you wouldn't be able to walk. I think you'd be so sore.
His that just shows how tough he is, Stefan.
I think that might be a borderline mistake on the part of them.
It might be borderline too much. Well, no one else watching this has ever touched a hammer. So
I guess
there's no frame of reference.
Like that's a heavy sledgehammer that he is taking a wall down by hand.
I know, it's fucking crazy.
A full-size wall.
And just, I love like the progression of as he's hammering. I love that hammering is like his thing that he goes and does, and it's his like outlet or whatever. There's one scene where after he's walking away, where like the hammer was leaning up against something and like falls, and you see like where he was holding it is is like bloody. I'm like, oh, it's fucking awesome.
Yep. It would have to be, just because it's so crazy the
I
idea
know.
that it does. I loved how brutally he dismantled those thugs using a sledgehammer.
I know.
Because you think at first like, well, maybe he won't kill them because like they're like low budget thugs
Yeah.
and they've not murdered anyone yet, although they are attempting to murder someone at the moment.
So yeah,
And then he was like wrecked.
yes. So that's that's the whole thing, right? My understanding from like the limited references and stuff with the comics and stuff is that they are like brutal and he is brutal and all that other business.
He's a thug, dude.
Yeah, and they
But
showed off a lot of that stuff.
it wasn't
yeah,
very
like-
gun heavy, so
Right.
my mind immediately flashed back to all right, what is going to be in this episode that gets it canceled from the Comic-Con? Because I'm like, you assumed it was going to be something heavily gun-toted.
Yeah.
And somebody said he started talking about something on a radio show about like what they were planning for the Comic-Con thing, and it might have had like a live action element, like they might have been going to do
Oh.
a fake stunt or something, and then
Oh.
canceled the whole thing.
Like he's got a gun, and then like John Bernthal shows up or something. Like that.
Something.
Here's what I thought it was. To sidetrack from that awesome fight for a minute is when they were in like the group therapy stuff.
Sure.
And those dudes start talking about like we gotta take this country back and all that fucking shit or
You
whatever.
think that's why he canceled it?
Because wasn't the shooting a guy like that? Wasn't it someone who was like we gotta take America back for America and all that fucking
Now,
was
this
in
is something
in Las
that
Vegas, right?
It's sad the time we live in that I was like, there's been so many
Yeah.
shootings. Which one was the one
Yeah.
that did that?
Which
was
horrible
that
mess.
actually? I don't remember seeing a manifesto.
So like I don't follow the news. I try not to. I know that's like bad or something like that. My understanding from like hearing like the snippets or whatever is that the Las Vegas dude was like an older dude. Pretty sure it was a white dude. Pretty sure he was one of those guys who was like America's lost its way and we gotta like cleanse the something bullshit
in like
or
a
whatever
racial
it's
way, you think?
like.
Because wasn't his wife Chinese?
I don't know. And anything that you might say, I would say that might be true. I have no idea.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know too much about it.
But the vibe of like the like veterans who are like this country I wrote it down. He says like blood's gonna flow. Blood will flow in the streets and all that shit. It's gonna be a revolution.
Yeah.
We're gonna like take it back and put it back the way it was. That sentiment, the reactionary sentiment of like we gotta stand up and make things back the way they used to be, is that like ugly that some crazy people then take and go. That was my assumption.
I just hate the idea that anyone doing anything fucks up something else.
No, I know.
You let them win when they're affecting other parts of the
I've
world.
gotten into like some mild debates with people about stuff, and then like when I bring that up, like, well, we were at Comic-Con and like the Punisher canceled its whole thing because there was a shooting. Like no one has said like they should have. Everyone said like, well, I don't support that. That's ridiculous, or something like that. And I go
Yeah.
like, well, it's because like they want to play it safe and stuff, right? They want to like I forget who owns what now or whatever, but that's Marvel, so that's Disney, right?
Disney owns them.
It's like directly there. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought because it's on Netflix, it might have been like a different.
That still has to get all
chain of
signed off
ownership.
through.
Yeah, dog.
But no, this episode was dope. I love that his apartment seemingly has no bedroom. It's like a weird shape.
So he's in a bed, but
Did it even have a bathroom? Is there like a bathroom in the hall?
okay. I'm glad you brought this up because I was confused. I thought I was just too tired or something like that. Because like he goes home. I loved it. It's like a shot from like above. It shows how fucking small it is. He takes off his shoes. He's like right there. There is a sink like right there. But I didn't think I saw a bed from like the aerial shot. And when they cut to him in bed, I was like, wait, where is that in relationship to the rest of his stuff?
There must be a door or something that we couldn't see from that angle.
Yeah, there must be like another room with a bed or something in it or something.
But
or,
like
or
I
it's just
thought
like or like the room is longer and kidney shaped and there's a bed over there.
maybe
I wasn't clear.
it was strange. I was like, where is that? Is there a room somewhere? Because
It's
like we saw
definitely-
him come in the door, and that was the door from the hallway leading to the room that he was in. So it wasn't like that door leads to other things.
Yeah, no, and it was very. I just know that that it's very small and very sparse, and it's very much like the
Yeah,
Punisher
he
and
does,
shit.
He's brooding, and that's all he
The
needs.
masterful brooding or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, so this is his whole like, I'm just trying to live my life and hammer shit and deal with my shit, but
Yeah, he's got to
keeps
work some stuff out.
pulling me back in. Right, kid tries to befriend him, crumbles his exterior. I loved him saying like, I don't know what you think I am, but I ain't it, or something like that, like for you or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that usually gets portrayed like I'm befriending you, weird guy, and that's the whole thing. But he turned it right around on him, like, listen, I ain't your dad, bitch. So get the fuck out of here. Which is
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, like immediately. And I was like, damn, son, just trying to like shut you down as hard as possible. Like, no, fucking stop.
Did you notice with like the moment when they got in there how his wallet was in the front pocket and immediately go, oh, that's gonna fall out?
No, I didn't notice it.
I saw it immediately, and my thought was it's gonna fall out and they're gonna have his wallet.
And they're gonna take
but
it.
it fell out, and somehow the guy Hawkeye's the name from
Yes.
fucking a mile away. I'm watching it on a big screen, and I'm like, all right, his name is all right, what is that? And he's like, vroom, and like. Like just fucking sees it.
And the implication I thought was that everybody at the poker game like knew, and it was just like that was a hilariously bad heist. I really enjoyed how bad that kid, because he's just like a normal kid.
Yeah.
Right. This is one of those stories of like fucking everything goes left.
Yeah, we've
It
heard
just
that
fucks
story
it up.
many a time.
Yeah. Fuck.
Didn't even know what he was
Very
getting
sad.
into until he was already there.
No, and he was super nervous, as anyone who has like the normal parts of your brain
Sure.
and stuff should be.
And for what,
But,
70 grand? Was that the take?
Oh,
did
did
they
they
say?
get a total? I don't know.
I think they said like 70 was one of the numbers. Between 70 and 50 and 70, something like that.
Yeah. So that guy got shit on so hard. I assume, like we were talking about earlier, is he becomes some sort of sidekick or some sort of somebody to him, right? Do you think that character's done, or is he going to be the guy?
I don't know.
Do you think Donnie's out?
I don't think we're going to see the Punisher in that town ever again,
I think he's
honestly.
just
So I
out.
think he's out.
I would like him to be out. I was afraid that he would be like the lovable young scamp sidekick or whatever the fuck.
No,
But,
I think
that's
he
good.
honestly has to be out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, okay, so
His
like
name is known, but my thought was saying, I'm
Yes.
like, all right, so 70 grand, is that enough to start over? Like,
no. In that sack or whatever. So my thought is he like finds him or catches up to him, or like he's there somehow or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, yeah, thanks for all this money, but like I can't do this. I don't have anything. I don't whatever. I like paid my mom's like or grandma's like stuff, and now like what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like I'm in danger. Blah blah blah. I need your help.
Well,
Or
the
something
Punisher
like
did
that.
kill all the mob bosses, so I think
Yeah.
that might stop the hit that was going to come down on him.
Oh, so like everyone's literally dead.
Well, even if not everyone's dead,
Maybe.
if you cut the head off of all these things, that was like a higher up thing.
Yeah.
If there's no one to pay you for a hit,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
committing a hit.
The heat might be off. I don't know how the whole thing works or how the structure is or whatever. But I didn't hate that character, but I don't want the Punisher to have a like lovable young sidekick like Ash versus Evil Dead or whatever. We have a
Yeah.
lovable young sidekick. I don't really want that. I'd much rather have Mr. Micro Machine, whatever you said before,
Microchip.
as the dude or whatever. It would
Yeah,
be nice
well-
if he talked fast and explicitly, inexplicably though.
We will see what that brings. What else happened in this episode? Did we learn anything else? Did we take anything else away?
Back to that fight though, right? I loved how like you're saying, like he didn't like pull any punches. He didn't
No,
like
it's straight up
fucking,
murk.
straight up murder them, and like even stuff where like they weren't dead yet, but it's like he would do stuff to people where it's like, oh well, you're never gonna like run again. Or, like, oh, you're like pelvis
Yeah.
is like
He shattered his lower spine with a fucking
Yeah.
hammer, like right to the fucking spine. Like, thank God he killed that guy, because that guy was fucked.
No, I know. Like for fucking real. There's like certain things like that in like certain movies or TV things now where like people get injured and then like they get like interrogated or like whatever and then like eventually killed. And part of me is like relieved. Where I'm like, oh my god, because if he had lived and had to deal with all these fucking problems now and all these injuries, fuck, it's disgusting. But I like that, like the graphic violence, the whole thing, because it was boiling up to that point for the whole episode.
Did you like how like their work site isn't fenced in?
Yeah.
The machinery has the keys just left in it. There's
small-
no guard. There's no nothing.
It's a small operation.
Yeah.
But that whole thing too of like turn on the mixer and they fucking throw him in there and he's actually in there. He's actually fucked.
Yeah.
And then Mr. the Punisher shows up.
I love when the bodies just start dropping. And he's like, ah, ah.
Yeah. That too. Him, Frank, not like not having regard for the person he's even saving. Just like these
Yeah.
are, because he's not even saving that kid, right? It's just like these are bad people, and I'll throw you a rope, I guess, on my way out. But
Pretty much.
I'm just here to punish, you know.
I did like that he gave him the money though. That was a cool move, because you got to think, how much money does the Punisher even need?
Only enough to punish, and then after that, everything
And like
else is useless.
once you've punished one person, you just take whatever they were punishing people with, and then you have another punishing weapon.
It's a cascade of
Yeah.
punishment. Yeah.
And I'm sure every place he goes, he can steal money.
I think he can do whatever he wants. But now he's mobilized. I'm not sure where it's gonna. So this was like almost like the pilot intro type of scenario where we don't have a clear path to how things go from here.
Well, he was ending it because he burned his bulletproof vest.
I know.
So like presumably he was going on the life of the straight and narrow. He's like, oh, I'll just do this. I'll just hammer all day, every day until I die because I got to get my penance for letting my family die.
Right? Fuck.
And now he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I got to kill things.
Yeah, I think he comes back, right? Him and Microchip. Is that going to be his name?
If that's even him. I'm
okay.
making a guess.
But we assume that guy, he seems so happy to see him. I don't think he could be like an agent hunting him, right? That
Well, unless he was just happy to catch him. Who knows? I do like the gait analysis. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone has a unique gait.
And the computer can fucking tell now everything about you. Because, like you had the hood up and all that business or whatever.
Somebody was talking about this on a podcast or something where like there are shoes you can wear that will change your gait
to avoid throw that
things.
off?
Yeah.
God damn. The fucking world, man.
Like Osama bin Laden or like people like that wear those types of things because it makes it so you can't.
That's actually awesome.
Because wherever you go, you're picked up by a camera.
Yeah.
Period.
That's fucking awesome.
You need things.
I've heard too that like cameras from like far away now, like when you're online waiting for something or like whatever the fuck, the cameras are like high enough resolution to see your fingerprints now.
Really?
So they can like identify you from like however many feet away.
That's amazing.
And like not if you do this and like show it, just if you're like casually like talking and like fumbling through your bag and like doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
They just boop, got that, boop, that one, boop, thumb, boop, that, and it can pick them up and like figure out who you are. I was like, well, we're all fucked forever now.
That's insanity.
We just live inside of Minority Report and Total Recall and everything else. Should say there's a whole subplot here that we're just like ignoring because it's boring.
Let's go to that.
They introduced Agent Madani.
Yeah, I liked her little goofy partner who was also like on the chump squad of people they don't trust or like or whatever. She's determined to find her dead partners. People that got him killed. The Americans that were smuggling cocaine,
heroin,
cocaine,
drugs.
Pepsi, whatever.
No, like there's corruption. It's like shit's happening. You got the higher up guy. Like, don't follow this story, whatever. Right?
That's where I just saw that Howell guy. He's the fucking boss in that.
Is he?
Yeah, we were just talking earlier about that guy from Soul Man, and he is the boss in this show.
Is he?
He is.
Fuck. Okay. C. Thomas Howell.
C.
There
Thomas
we go.
Howell,
like we knew his name, but like, we didn't have to look it up or anything.
Nah.
No. Okay. Cool. But he's the guy who's like, in everything like this, there's someone who like doesn't seem like a bad guy, but then when you start to sniff around, he goes like, no, like watch yourself, like don't fucking follow these leads or whatever. And she's like, I'm here for truth and justice or whatever. So I think we see where this is going.
Of course. Well, she even stated she's like the two guys that we saw, the Punisher and his like old army buddy, like, and they both died on a day apart, 20 miles away, both in New York City. What are the odds?
Yeah.
And they're not dead. So those are the odds.
So those are the odds. That's zero.
Yeah.
No, I liked, so I liked her mother.
Yes, I almost made a comment a minute ago where, like, she seemed to shine in that scene.
Yes.
Great accent. Was she from Spain or something?
That, like, something about the voice. I was all like, my whole world ground to a halt so I could listen to her talk because she had this awesome sounding voice. But, the agent character, not very interesting, like, yet. Like
I think
like
he'll
the
have
mom
some very
shines
funny
because
lines.
she's more interesting.
I meant her agent guy. I think he'll have some funny lines.
No.
And she'll be like the love interest.
She's the love interest and, like, the playing it straight, like, Scully type character, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, like, her partner, who keeps saying, like, I'm just a junior officer, like, that whole thing, but he's obviously, like, years old, like, older and been doing stuff. So, like, he got, like, demoted, right, for doing...
Probably,
doing
his own thing.
There you go. So this is, she's on, like, she's at that table in the lunchroom where all the losers go now, but she's pretending, being like, well, I'm still going to go.
He reminds me a bit of the guy who played a similar role in the 1987 Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren. There's a guy who's like, no, I've been tracking it. There's a guy. It's one guy doing all this stuff.
Was it Kevin Pollak?
No.
Okay. Because this guy reminded me of Kevin Pollak a little bit.
I don't think that guy's been in anything since or before.
I never saw that Punisher, the Dolph.
Oh, it's wonderful. So wonderful.
I want to. We should watch it. We should see if it holds up.
I know. It does.
Oh. Well, still, we should go. We should scientifically, determine if it does.
What else happens in this episode? You got anything else?
Well, we should probably touch on, just so that we're sure about it. The he like comes in later. So, like, we had the one brutal fight, right?
Yeah.
Then the other major action sequence is when he shows up to which seems to be like the same location. So like he interrogates the dude by like stepping on his broken leg and like makes him tell
Yeah.
where the fucking poker game was, so that he can go there and punish everyone and all that stuff. But it's pretty cool. He like cuts the lights and then it's only lit by like a muzzle flash or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck. And I like shit like that, artsy.
That
or
was
whatever.
good. I had watched a thing recently on Muzzle Flash that like Muzzle Flash is way brighter than most like movies give things credit for. Like,
Yeah.
It's like a flame ball that shoots out sometimes like a foot and a half, 2 feet out of the gun. Like
Even of like a normal, quiet, normal
Yeah.
handgun gun. Sure. Yeah, so like if
it's
you,
irregular, so it's not the same every time.
Okay.
And that was another big qualm they have in like movie guns, like where it's just like flash, 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 but it's not how it is.
Because you just copy and pasted the exact
Yes.
same effect like millions of times. Yeah. Yeah, because it depends on like the angle and the burning and how it comes out and all that shit. Yeah, I liked it here. Like I think people would say like it's to make it cheaper so you can't see it or whatever the fuck. But for me, it's
It
just
probably was more expensive to do it this way.
yeah. For me, it like communicates the disorientation that the guys must be feeling.
Yeah.
And then contrast that with Frank's like
With how fucking good
I'm
he
the
is.
fucking man and all that stuff. Yeah, he was so good in that fight. His fucking with those 3 mooks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Disarming them, switching back to one guy really quick, and then going back and finishing the first guy. Like very crisp, very awesome. I believe everything. There's certain action
He's got
things.
a great style about him,
Yeah.
and definitely like their fight choreography is on point in all the Marvel Netflix shows.
Yeah. There's action things though where like the guy's doing something and I'm like, okay.
Like any Steven Seagal slapping thing he
Yeah.
does.
Like I'm supposed to believe that kick would do that. But here again, editing, sound design, everything, the usual high standards that we're used to from
Yeah, no,
Marvel Netflix
pretty,
garbage.
pretty solid.
Fuck. I don't think I have any other buttons except like the downfall of Donnie and all that shit, or his like spiraling out of control. One of like it was so much better than it had any reason to be when he finally goes out with the guys, and then they said you're buying, right? And it's like over $300.
Yeah, $340.
Watching him stare at it and like the way they like played the scene and the sound, and then they kind of dropped out the sound, I think, as he thought about it, and then the sound like picked up when the guys were like cheering and going like, yeah, you're the man, Donnie.
No, yeah,
Like, go
they're
fuck
terrible
yourself,
people,
bitch.
and I hate them.
No, and
I'm
like
glad they're dead.
yeah, you hate them so much, and then you find out they're so much worse. Because even them calling Frank as Pete like a retard
Yeah.
and all that shit, and making all the
Step on a
references.
sandwich.
Yeah. There goes the PB&Js and all that shit. We're like, dude, like, why are you even fucking with him? And then you find out, like, well, because he's costing them money, maybe? Because he's hammering
'Cause
so
he
much?
works hard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But, like, how is, like, one guy hammering even 24 hours a day? There were, like, 20 guys on, like, the work site.
Yeah,
What's the
and
big
only he
problem?
has the job of doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Is that all they're doing is tearing down this building? Is that the whole point? Were they not
I think
building
they're
anything?
remodeling it.
They have like a mixer, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? No, yeah, it was I'm like, God damn, you're like taking this very personally and like getting in his face, like you don't see his like rippling muscles and like steely gaze working on that wall all
Yeah.
day. What the fuck?
Well, that's most people. Like you pick on someone who you think it's not necessarily they're physically weaker than you, that they're not
Yeah.
going to do anything about it. If he's a silent giant and you could just keep pummeling him until he cries, like
No, yeah, he just thinks that he wouldn't have it in him type of thing,
Yeah.
right? But then he has so much in him that it's fucking and
oh,
it's
it's expelling out of every orifice.
it's such a glorious payoff when he's just like, nope, you know what? Let's do it. Fucking does it. In order to fuck. I'm happy about this. I'm excited to like watch more and
Yeah,
get
it's a
more
great
into the
opening
series and all that
episode.
shit. So
I think this
We're here to
sets a
punish.
pace for the rest of the season that hopefully will be large. And I think even when the plot might have little dip-offs here and there, as some of the Marvel shows have had, I think you're always going to have just one epic action scene in each thing where you're like, because his action is different than everyone else's. Like,
yeah,
there's something so much more real about like an American Street Fighter type. Like I like
Okay,
when Luke
like-
Cage does things, but
Yeah.
but it's like, well, he's a superhero, so he's like, I just batted him by the face and that guy died.
Yeah.
Everything this guy does is like calculated. I broke that bone. I did this. I hit you with that. Oh, there's blood on both of us. Like,
yeah, it's like militarily and it's brutal, and even in that Daredevil season, like he spends half the season with like big bruises on his face, looks like
Yeah.
a raccoon and all that shit because he's just taking shit too the whole time. No, yeah, like I feel like in no offense to whoever the fuck played Danny Rand or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, who I would consider to be the worst or whatever the fuck. But like here so far,
That's fair.
and I don't know how we're gonna get into all the side characters, right? But like every other show in like the Netflix universe, you could end up with like with like an episode where you're like, oh, well, we just kind of talked, and well, Stick was in it for a little bit, I guess, but then we did this, and there was a flashback, and why did I watch this? Like, what are we even doing here? Not that I need pulse-pounding action every time, but the point is here, hopefully, in almost every episode, we're gonna have John Bernthal doing his thing.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Because even him waiting around the corner for the group therapy session to be over so that he could go fucking talk to his dude and like the conversation, he like lays some truth on him, and then he just looks at him and goes like, thanks for the coffee, but he says it in this way. We're just like, like it's this whole like, he's a good actor.
I like him.
character. So
I think he's a solid pick.
I feel like the low points of like this Punisher season are going to be higher than some of the lows in the other ones. Is my like
I think
impression.
that can be said about everything, because on the whole, I think they're going to be stepping up because they have to live up to their own hype now.
Yeah.
So they're going to be putting a lot of time, a lot of money into shots, making things look perfect. The writing has always been good, but I think that's keep shining.
It's super high quality stuff. But the Defenders, not that it worried me, but it felt like more of the Iron Fist stuff, or it was a little disjointed, not quite as tight or whatever. So my goal here is for this to rise up to the like Daredevil season 2 level of like goodness or whatever, which would make sense.
We're on target.
So
let us know, guys. Do you think we're going to be the best Marvel series so far? What do you think is your first impression of this show? Let us know in those comments below. Don't die in a fire, and we will see you next time.